Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ECC Division 2.1. We are in for another interesting match here as RiZe. They've already reached playoffs with a record of 7-1, consisting of Snicks, Sharky, and Mixie even. And they're taking on the team of Cactus Squad, who can potentially make it to playoffs, and that is 10A, Plug, and Dash. So, a very juicy game today. It's a must-win for Cactus if they want any shot at playoffs. But Faded, what do you think? Who have you got down for this one?
Oh, it's well, I was going to say the top one, but it's not really because I've seen RiZe play quite Cactus a couple of times, RiZe a couple of times, and very solid side. I think Max been it up so many times. They're currently in the third division of the Nitro League, which is the German National League. Which apparently is pretty good. So good on them. And currently sitting in first place, a record 7-1. A win here would guarantee them first for sure. But they've got a pretty clear leads to in that division. So I have to give it to them honestly. But even though Cactus Squad have everything to play for in this match, because a win here gives them a shot at playoffs, though I do believe, in the ideal case, they'd have to get a 3-0 sweep, I believe. Maybe a 3-1 could do it. I'm not entirely sure. I'll actually have a quick check of that, see what it does take.
So we've just been informed Cactus Squad can't make playoffs because they joined mid-season. So this game, is just going to be making a statement. It's still juicy because RiZe, they've already reached playoffs. Imagine if Cactus Squad can derail their momentum and be like, look, we're here to stay. Get this win. Would put them on a huge statement going in going into the postseason, going into next season, going into any other leagues that they're playing in. That's going to be a huge boost for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, because they're a reserve team, I completely forgot about this rule, but because they replaced our team later on, quite late this season, it means they are ineligible for playoffs in this one. So they're really fighting for the glory here. So no matter what they do, they will be staying out of the playoffs. Even if they manage to be able to fourth, they will not be able to play. So this match is more for sure, but as you said, Micah, this one is going to be one where Cactus Squad can kind of prove themselves and get to play against what's undoubtedly the best team in this conference in the form of RiZe eSports. They've been on a tear this season, doing fantastic. So it's good to get some experience against a team like that. So not quite the not as a high stakes match as before, as we said, but still looking to be. A good one to watch at least, because final week, we'll get to see what Cactus Squad are made of and see how RiZe are looking as we're approaching the playoffs. Not long after we've concluded this week.
Yeah, I really feel like as long as we can get past this bit, do you know what? If this game is any much like the early one, it will go one way, and RiZe will take it. But Cactus Squad, 4-4 that's where they're standing at the minute. They're not in a ridiculously bad place. They haven't played particularly awfully this season. They haven't done absolutely incredible, but a win like this against a team as big as RiZe, that is a tall order, and they are potentially underdogs here. But you've got to think about what would happen if they win. If they win, they're gonna go on and be like, okay, we're here to play. They're putting their name on the map, and every other team is then on notice for next season.
Yeah, definitely. And so for Cactus Squad, that's something that to prove really to other teams, because the hope is that they'll stay for next season and get to play again. So this result at the end of the season, if you can get a win against RiZe, who are in the best of your division, then that says a lot about what you're capable of as a team here. And now I think about it, actually, RiZe, they're secured first, so even if they lose this 3-0, I do believe they will hang on to it because they've got such a good game differential. But nonetheless, if you can get a win here, then that's that's great, and it benefits them in that sense. Of course, when it comes to other teams in the playoffs, maybe that can knock RiZe's confidence a little bit if you can skip a winner, especially with RiZe actually having to use having to make a last minute transfer to get a player running and having all sorts of issues. So, it's a good opportunity for Cactus squad to prove themselves and scrape a win, even if in the grand scheme of things it doesn't do much for this season, at least. So yeah, it's going to be great. And as I said before, also we get a snippet to see what RiZe or what kind of form they could bring into the playoffs, even if they're not playing the main lineup. We'll get to see what they're like going into that, because that's only a couple weeks down the line here.
Yeah, at this point, you're at the end of the season. There isn't a ton to be fighting for, so to speak. RiZe eSports, they have a goal differential of plus 16. They are doing they're doing bits so far. Cactus Squad, we have just seen Fort Templar lose, so they can at least put themselves in better standards. We have to think outside of just making that statement. You got to think of RiZe Esports as an organization going up against a team, Cactus Squad, who aren't necessarily an organization. That's going to be a big statement for Cactus Squad, for potentially organizations that are looking out there. That's a shout for them to turn around and be like, we're here, we're making this statement. That's a big thing to be able to do at this level, is just get out there, make these statements, because at the end of the day, you might think it's just one sort of game. It's one game in a load of others, but at the end of the day, it could be absolutely huge, in terms of like their communication, their development as a team, but more than not, their confidence. Because if you go into a game with no confidence, then you ain't gonna go far, are you?
Yeah, I can 100% agree with that. So I know that RiZe will put everything into this and make a good name for themselves as they progress forwards. They want to get the best possible finish to a season after all. Even if the match doesn't change anything for them instead of RiZe, you want to get that win and prove yourselves as you go forward into this. But yeah, I do apologize for the delay for everyone to chat, but we are having some server issues at the moment, and hopefully they will be sorted now. But before we dive in, Mikey, we'll now dive into some score predictions, shall we say. So I'll ask you first. Who do you think's going to come out with the win in this matchup?
I think I really feel like I really want to say Cactus, because I always want to root for the underdog. But I think that RiZe Esports have the ability, at this point. They are doing well, they're on a good sort of level. Both teams are doing really well at the minute, and now that they're in this position where it isn't potentially, there's no pressure, so there's no risk of that nervousness that we saw in the earlier series. I think at this point it can go either way. I am going to have to go with RiZe though, because RiZe, best team in the division by far. If they don't go up a division, then I'm going to be mind blown, because RiZe, they're a good team. They've got good rotation. They've got good communication, good boost management. All they need to do is keep grinding. Cactus Squad, on the other hand, they have lost a few. They're not necessarily at the top of their game yet. So I'm probably going to go with RiZe in this one. What about you, sir?
I would have to agree with you and say that RiZe will come out, come out the win here. I mean, yeah, it's it's a match they want to win at the end of the day. Got no pressure really. So I expected those to come out like the usual selves. Especially the fact that they're not with the usual lineup, so maybe there's slightly lower expectations for them, but they're still clearly the best in this division, and that's an undeniable fact at this point. So I really think they'll come out here. Maybe Cactus Squads could take a game off them. I would like them to give a good fight, but I believe RiZe Esports will come out with the win. Now, we are having issues with the servers. Apparently, one of the players is experiencing packet loss, and we are attempting to get that sorted. But we will not let that hold us up for too long. We can only do so much to sort these issues at the end of the day. But if you guys in chat would actually like to let us know your predictions as well, then feel free to go ahead and let us know what you think about this one. Because, even with not much on the line, we want to see how you guys think will fare in this. So the players are just waffling on in the chat about things, but we will hopefully get things going momentarily.
Right. Well, you know what? Not being funny, but we're here for the content, aren't we, at this point? So, we're just going to do some random questions to each other, some random answers. Let's just have a natter because we've got nothing better to do. And I'd rather you didn't just sit here on an intermission screen. So, Mr. Faded, sir, let's talk about you. Because I feel like we don't get to talk about you. Right. We've turned to an interview format. I am the caster. I take over. This is what we do, okay? So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Q&A of the day. That's what we're going to call this. Because Christ, he's not ready for this.
I'm not ready for this. All right,
he's not ready for this. Right, Faded, sir. How's your Rocket League career going? Straight up statement.
Oh, God, right. Well, casting-wise, it's been pretty swell, actually. Not long ago, in fact, early this week, got to cast around State's Grid, and we do love casting grid. It was the qualifiers, mind you, but it was the casting tournament, one of the best teams in Norway, and it was fantastic because they were actually a Series 1 away from making the grid, and then they lost to Team Liquid, which is a bit of a shame, but nonetheless, it was great. In terms of my playing career, I mean, I stopped playing competitive, a while ago. Thought about getting back into it at some point, which I may do. Who knows? But still playing the game. It's great fun. In the end, and this Q&A session might actually be cut short, Mikey. Here, but basically, because I'm a moderator, I basically said, right, he can restart his game, this guy, but we have to get going, right? So I think I'll tell him we just have to get going because we're 12 minutes over schedule, so we gotta get this on the road.
Okay. Well, while we wait, I'm just going to keep nattering because that's what I do best at this point, is it not? While we wait for it to sort of start. Okay. I love how Dash is just like, I can't fix Rocket League servers. I'm like, nail it. Get down there with your spanner. Fix their stuff. That would be greatly appreciated. Yeah, I think that there's a few issues. Rocket League in itself has... Do you know what? They can really make a million things. They can make a million different changes to the game. Companies will take over. Epic Games comes in, and they still do not give us great servers. So, yeah. Can we get some ratings in the chat, right? Out of 10, what we're rating the servers today. And
I rate a big fat fucking 0.
Language Faded! I expected better from you, sir. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get underway regardless of the packet loss issue. It is Cactus Squad versus RiZe eSports. It's Dash, 10A, and, well, D.RZ apparently now. Against the RiZe eSports team of Mixie, Sharky, and Snakes. And we are underway in this Division 2.1 game. And DRZ, he's going for the shot, and he's just missed that. I don't understand how that should have been a goal within the first 10 seconds right there.
Yeah, indeed. He had an open net to shoot at, really, but in the end, the shot was off target. So early days for Cactus Squad trying to really make them work, and they're the ones actually with the connection issues. I see Dash there. He's got packet loss and 100 ping, which isn't ideal, but seems to be doing okay thus far. As it is now Cactus Squad on the attack. What can they do here? Doesn't seem to be much, as Mixie, who is the stand-in here for the side of RiZe, coming in, but that is a huge overcommit from the side of RiZe eSports. Now it is Cactus Squad. They've got to capitalise, but the RiZe Squad come back really quickly, and so they will get away with that one. I must say, Cactus Squad have looked a bit more solid, honestly, than RiZe so far in this opening minutes. But again, it's early days, and it is that first game, so I expect both the teams to be trying to feel each other out. But now DRZ, he has a no-tap opportunity, but it's off the post, and now it's still 0-0 with 1 minute gone.
I'm sorry, are you absolutely delusional? Man goes that Cactus Squad have been better than RiZe so far. They've missed 3 open net. Oh my god! They've got an open net. They finally got a goal.
I mean, I think you may want to take that back because, you know...
Nope.
Yes, they've missed some open nets, but they've had the
3.
majority of that pressure, right? And really, RiZe have had, what, one opportunity, and they completely bottled it by double committing. And so, you know, I think it's quite fair to say that Cactus would have, you know, been really, you know, fully on it from the get-go here. And, you know, they've had those chances. Sure, they've not been able to convert all of them. But, you know, that's what do you expect from a player that's lagging, to say the least. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, excuses. Honestly, Faded is just used to losing at Rocket League and coming up with these excuses. As the shot comes in from Mixie, that'll be the goal that RiZe wanted. 3 minutes 11 on the clock, and we are 1-1 in this game.
Yeah, 1-1. So, I mean, Mixie now finally getting back in. And, you know, from that kickoff, they did have some of the pressure. Like, right, you know, it's not messing around. And, you know, they've settled in. Got that flick, you know, DRZ, you know, rotating from that corner boost. There's no other back post, so really gets it on target. It's going to be a goal every time. So 1-1 with 2 minutes gone. As now it is RiZe back on the attack. What can be done here? It is a bomb on DRZ, and it is Mixie with a shot. And what a banger that was. The stand-in making his mark here in this game to put his team now into the lead.
You know, Mixie's played with this team before. They are former teammates, so they are used to each other. And 2-1 already. 2 goals from him. He is showing exactly why he has star power. And, you know, against a team that you said were doing amazing, they don't seem to be doing amazing now, do they, Fade? Did they really shut you up?
Yeah, not the start. Quite different for the start, really. You know, I'm not sure what that could be down to, but maybe they had all that confidence. But they are able to get one back at the very least, and it was Dash putting it onto the backboard, and that Dem was about to follow up. Only Mixie being unable to get to the save, and in the end it will be Cactus Squad tying up. So going into half-time, you know, RiZe was supposed to have ramped up a little bit, but now Cactus Squad's got the answer back, and so it's a fairly close affair in this first game. Both teams trading blows, and so now we'll have to see who can bring it out here. It just seems like this first match is really going to be more of a slugfest than anything here.
Yeah, definitely. So far, it has been very back and forth. At least they are finally sort of getting into it, but they're just not able to do anything with it. Every time it's just stolen from them. At the minute, it's just a little game of ping pong. It does seem that the rotation, it seems to be a little bit of an issue for RiZe lately, as we saw earlier in one of their initial goals. Whether or not they're figuring that out and they're regaining and just getting back on it. Obviously, that delay at the beginning could have affected them in terms of fatigue and like their warm-up kind of thing. So whether or not that's affecting them now is another question, as it's just coming straight back in. It is just very back and forth at the minute.
Yeah, I'm really, we just have to wait for when, you know, that one mistake comes through, that one play from a player that leads to a goal. Maybe it could be that, but Slick's shot is a bit off target, and Tenny had that one covered. So 90 seconds left. It will now be a chance here for Cactus Squad, but that'll be shot down quickly. So Tenny on his own will try to clear it out, and that's a good touch forwards from DRZ. As now it will be Tenny pushing it forward. Now Mixie and Sharky work together. Here comes Sharky forward. The shot is off the body. Tries to double it, but he puts it one and takes it off of Mixie, and still sticks with the ball, but in the end it will be taken out. And now it is the side of RiZe that have to hold out on defense for now, as 60 seconds and counting. It'll be a case of probably the next goal is going to be the decider for this, as it's the other that has to make that save, and Slick still going for more. But Cactus are looking to hold on strong here, as Sharky, another one being closely missed.
The pressure's on, and there it is. RiZe showing exactly why they are the favourites in this series, as he just slots it home so perfectly. There's nothing the defenders can do.
Yeah, just both of them sat in the same position. There's no one up for that in the end. And so it'll be RiZe now taking the lead, but it's already back into the half. Will be Mixie trying to pop it out, and now Dash, what can he do? He tries to double it in for the others. He's still able to get on it. Now Tenny, they're going all in for this attack, but it's off the post once again. I don't know how many shots this game have gone off the post of the way, and that is another one. As now Tenny off this again. It finds the other side, tries to go for that top left, but off the mark once more. Cactus Squad desperate to get a goal here, but Now they will have to release the pressure. Dash, woeful touch off the back wall, and now Tenny in an awkward spot. That's wait for Dash to make his move, but in the end it will drop in front of their net. Ball is still up, but it is RiZe eSports to the pressure. Sharky trying for one more double, and he will send it to the floor, and it will be RiZe eSports taking that first win, but Cactus Squad did not make it an easy task for them.
Yeah, do you know what? Considering the amount of shots that were going on, it wasn't the best game of Rocket League we've ever watched, was it? It was just sort of very back and forth, random sloppy moments, and whether that's down to ping and packet loss or whatever that's down to, there were just it just ended up being random moments that were just capitalized on, random moments that were stolen. Whether we'll see that in the next game is yet to be seen. But I really think that Cactus Squad they held their own in there, to be honest. Considering that they're playing with someone who has got a ping of over 100 at the moment, they really are hanging on in there.
Yeah, they absolutely are, and you know, they actually got off to a pretty good start, but it did slip away from them eventually. But nonetheless, it was a great game from Cactus Squad, and you know, they're proving that if they were able to, they could be a 12 contention team at least in the first game. But now we're going to head into game 2 of the series, and both the teams still bickering about servers and such, but we'll get into it. Of course, Cactus Squad again held off pretty well, but in the end, RiZe eSports do reign triumphant. So let's see how game 2 will fare for them, as Tenny right off the kickoff looking to go aggressive, puts it in for Dion, so he tries for that shot, but it is wide. But Dash, he's still keeping on the attack. What can he do? He can't land the touch, and now Sharky has to get it out. Now, has a little bit of space, but it's been closed down real quick, and now Mixie, what can he do? He's going for that solo play, he gets the flick, and into the top shelf, and it is RiZe on that attack there. Mixie, really nicely played there.
Look at that. Now that was spectacular. That was honestly just a perfect example of what you need to do. You know, he kept it calm, he kept it composed, and he just did exactly what was needed. And that is what you gotta do. And speaking of doing exactly what is needed, that is goal number 2.
Indeed, it is goal number 2. Mixie, a shame his initial shot didn't go in. It was very nicely placed. The Sticks was ready for the follow-up, and so again, it's RiZe eSports now, continuing the momentum for the last game. 2 goals in this opening 30 seconds. And so it's a great start. Maybe they can make it 3 here, as it is off the post there, and the follow-up being missed from Sticks. Tenny try to get out to Dasher. He's on the side wall. Can he do much with it? He's certainly making a big effort, but it is blocked. And now Tenny comes in once more. It is off the side wall, being dropped into the middle. Dash can't reach it, as now it will be mixing with a demo on Tenny, so that gives them plenty of space to work with. Now Sharky attempts to get a pop onto the back wall, and now Dash out to the side. What can he do with this one? Not a lot, and now Diaz pushed a little bit too far up. Has to make suboptimal touch on that one. So Mixie over to Sharky. The pass is good, but the shot having no power behind it, as now it will be the turn of Cactus to make it onto the tab, and not if Sharky makes a cut like that to keep it in. And now looking to get it into the center. Mixie was waiting, but now will be Cactus to try and get it out, as the shot is missed there.
The ball is just being left, it's just being left loose time and time again. Where are they? Why are they just letting that? Just watch it, they just let that ball go with that player. Did nothing about it and then expected it not to come back. Where was their defense? It was just absolutely shambolic at the end of the day. I understand that they've got lag issues and things like that, but you've got to have your positioning down, In that situation, the ball was loose way too many times, and they paid for it.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, in that play that resulted in a goal, it was one player did go for it, but he simply couldn't get that touch. And the second man was pushing up way too early. I mean, you talk about trust your teammates, sure, but I mean, it was a bit too aggressive, and then the third man was just left in no man's land, really. So, yeah, it is the side of Cactus Squad getting punched again. RiZe eSports on a rampage here, and it will continue as Snicks gets his hat-trick in this game. And so 4-0 with 2 minutes gone. RiZe eSports really going on a rampage here, and this is the team we know them as, the best that we have in this division.
Cactus Squad, we said you needed to make a statement, and boy, I don't know what happened in between game 1 and game 2, but it just feels like such a different team. But it also feels like RiZe are playing a bit differently. You know, they're retaining possession a lot more, and that is a really, really smart thing to do, because if you retain possession, there's nothing that they can do about it. They could just try to hit it off you, and then you can get someone to pick it up again. You know, it is a real smart play, as again, the overcommit just there a little bit. Complete whiff results in Mixi slotting it home, and they are now at a 5-goal deficit, and they're only halfway through the game.
Yeah, really, we can say this game is done and dusted. And you got a question, like, what happened to Cactus? Because they were looking very good in that first game. They were on the pace, keeping up with everything, but going into game 2, I mean, it could definitely be tilt from all the issues that Cactus Squad have been having. Even still, 5-0 is a big deficit here, and RiZe eSports. They are sharp for this game, but Cactus are looking very out of it. But now they have a chance. Dash comes in for that shot, but it is blocked straight away from Mixi. And they're on the counter. Mixi going for it again. He tries to put it on net. Tenny will block it, and now it is DRZ into the corner. As now he tries to make it a center, and Dash does come in, and he will put it posted in. And finally, it will be Cactus Squad on the board.
There is a bit of life there, but I really don't think that is any part of the fight is because of Cactus. I really just think that RiZe, they've eased up. They're just thinking, right, well, they're lagging. We've got this in the bag. We can chill out and just mess around a little bit. There was a little bit of ball chasing going on, a little bit of just following people around kind of thing. And ultimately, it did cost them, but it's only 1 goal, and they've still got a 4-goal advantage.
Yeah, indeed. I'm sure they won't be phased by a single goal like that. And when you're this far up in the game, yeah, you can chill out a little bit. Of course, don't get too carried away. But yeah, 1 goal won't really make a difference. But for Cactus Squad, even if it was completely off of a RiZe eSports mistake, in the end, it is a goal back. And so going to the 3rd game, being 2-0 down in the series, it's going to be some help, at least in terms of mentality. But with a minute left, we're trying to establish something for this game, and to be fair to them, they've solidified up a little bit more here. As now it is RiZe on the attack again. Dash has a big job doing defense, and he will be able to find that block. And now Cactus Squad push forward, trying to find something else for this game, because at this point they got to look forward to next. And why not try something a little bit different?
Yeah, they've got to get that momentum on the side, haven't they, at this point? You've already lost this game. There's no way you're getting 4 goals in 40 seconds. Well, I mean, to be fair, it is Rocket League. Anything can happen. But, it's very unlikely that you're going to get 4 goals in 40 seconds. So at this point, try to just get another. If you can get 1 more goal in, completely derail their momentum. As we see another close attempt there from RiZe. And 10-8, just a little tap to his teammate, not able to do much. And it's almost like they're just not connecting with it as much as they should be, which I guess there's no pun intended with there, considering the lag issues. But at the end of the day, you've got to just be hitting these things and nailing it to be able to get them. And they did get that goal, but it does seem that the momentum is on the side of RiZe eSports going into this next game.
Yeah, definitely. And it's something that Cactus got to break up. They sort of did. They got that 1 goal back and held on for the rest of the game without conceding. But I mean, you take a look at the stats, and really RiZe eSports, out shooting the side of Cactus Squad. That is a margin of 12-3. So yeah, it looks like we might be having another remake. So yeah, we will be remaking the server again at the request of the players. And that's in the hopes that these network issues be sorted. But I know a bit about this stuff to do with servers. It seems to be an isolated case with 1 player having a poor connection server, which is is on their end, not Rocket League's end for once. So that seems to be the issue. But nonetheless, they can take this time, at least now that we have a bit of an extended break, to get a new server going and get everyone back in. They can take the time to discuss tactics, really, and get themselves settled down a bit. Because for the side of Cactus Squad, they want to get this win, they have to make a reverse sweep, don't they? So yeah, they got a long road ahead of them if they want to pull out a win.
It is possible, you know. At the end of the day, reverse sweep, we do see it happen. Cactus Squad, they're going to be looking for that. You know, they've been having lag issues, so hopefully, you know, I feel like we'll be in for a juicy game if that's now resolved. If that's not resolved, then we have got another issue. But what do they have to do? You know, they're going to be thinking now. Okay, what can we do? Even if you have got these issues with the lag, or if they've not got the issues with the lag, what can they do differently to overpower RiZe at this point?
Oh, see, it's a tough question really of what Cactus Squad can really do to overpower them, because we know how good RiZe eSports are, and really, one thing I gotta say, right, you gotta, first off solidify that defense really, because in that last game it looked very, very cluttered, and there was often times where there was uncontested balls going around, and that really a Cactus Squad player should be on, but in the end, no one's on it, and it's free reign for RiZe, so they got to really get it sorted out. Deny these chances for RiZe eSports, and then you can work from there. Once you get the defense worked out, their offense actually looked relatively decent in those first two games whenever they did get into attack. So I have no doubt that they could, do things that way. I have no question about that. It really starts the defense. You got to get that sorted out first, and then they can build out from there.
I definitely agree. At the end of the day, if you're just conceding goal after goal after goal, there's nothing that you can do unless you sort of turtle up and you get your positioning nailed. Because if you can get your positioning nailed, everything else you can work on during the game. One thing that you can't really well, you can work on it, but the one thing that will hinder you more than everything else is you can have zero boost, but if you're in the right position, you can potentially save it. But if you have full boost and you're in the wrong position, you still might not be able to get to it. So for me, I think it's nailing that rotation and nailing that positioning of the players. And then Cactus Squad, they can have an attempt at this. And it does actually look like 10A's ping problems are solved. He's sat on 28 ping at the moment. So we're going to get into this game of Cactus Squad versus RiZe eSports. RiZe eSports on match point.
Yeah, absolutely. So with internet issues finally resolved for Cactus Squad, seems like getting new server did it finally, but we are into game 3, and so it's Cactus Squad really the ones to answer here, and they're already starting an attack. It is a pretty, pot shot there from the DRZ there, but it won't result in anything. As now it will be RiZe on the attack. Sharky into the corner. He is going for that corner read, but he can't find the follow-up touch that he needs. Now boom down the field. It will be up for Tenet, who sends it to the corner once more, but Mixie has Dash there coming in. What can he do? It's just into the 6th defender, and now instead he tried to get it past, but he gets dunked as well. But really, Cactus Squad's, started with it's looking decent. They have control of that midfield for the most part, but now it's a chance for Sharky. He tries to find that double tap, and Mixie follows it up, puts it into the top shelf, and as I was saying how well Cactus Squad were playing, it is RiZe that score first.
RiZe saw Cactus step up, and they stood up strong. At that point, that was a great attempt at a dunk and a great follow-up from Mixie there. It was honestly it's just pure gold. At times like that, it's great that we can finally see a game without these internet issues as it goes straight back into the middle again and a block is there. It is great that we can see this because both teams are stepping up, This is the last sort of shot of the, well, not shot of the game, but the last sort of like they have to nail this one, if you know what I mean. So if they don't do that, then it's not going to go well as Snakes is just nailing that air dribble, and Deji's there to get the block. So I really think that we're in for a very spicy rest of this game, especially if RiZe are stepping up like that. We're going to need another step up from Cactus.
Yeah, absolutely, and a good start here. There was a good infield pass from Tenny, but it's readable. It is blocked, and now Tenny once again having to make a touch. It's not good though for his teammates as Dash tries to go for it, but he is blocked at the end. Now the other side trying to put it down the field, and he's going to follow it up. Actually, he catches it, but isn't able to maintain control and can't find that shot now. RiZe, so 2 players on that. Sharky's trying to recover for it, but Dash will get to it in the end. Mexi now onto the back wall. It's going to drop straight down for him. Will he make the read? Oh, he nearly does, but it goes off the bar and away. And really got to say, Cactus Squad got away with that one scot-free, as he will be able to get it out and relieve that pressure. And so, with half the game gone, still sitting at 1-0 in the third game.
Yeah, literally. Oh, it was on the line, and it rolls in. RiZe, where is your rotation? Where were you guys? Oh, great bump there. Did a demo come in at some point that I missed there? Because it... Where were you?
Yeah, I don't think any demos or bumps have actually involved with that. It's just really case of boost over ball, and that's really it. And no one's defending net for RiZe, so a blunder there. They got to probably be kicking themselves because they had a prime opportunity to score. They weren't able to convert it, and now they concede off a mistake like that. Got hurt a little bit, but was just over 2 minutes left. Cactus Squad answer back finally, and now they're the ones that are looking to push on forwards, get the go-ahead goal in this game. As now it is Mexi trying to take control. It is a touch on the ball. Tenny up for it, but it is awkward for him. He gets the second touch. Sharky waits for it. Now takes over DRZ and past the keeper as well. Sharky on his own to put his team back on.
That was spicy. Let's just watch this again. That one touch, that second touch. Oh, that was just spectacular. And that is what you've got to do. That, you know, RiZe, they're showing their star quality, and that is exactly what you need to do at this stage of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, with RiZe, they're showing it. But here, my word, Cactus Squad, what a way to respond to that. And you're like, well, you got a solid play. Well, here's that seam play. Tenny so fast off the ceiling, finds the outside, perfect pass, amazing shots, and quite frankly, textbook play from them. And, like, after such a roller coaster of experience for them, that's got to be quite the confidence boost when you can put together a play like that.
Absolutely. Now they've got to be like, right, we've got our communication together, our rotations are on point. They finally got to the point of things going well as Tenny gets a demo on Mixie for the Bants, and it's one of them.
Oh no,
speechless.
Yeah, speechless there. But you know, you take a look at DRZ's POV. How much boost do they have? Basically nil. And you know, it's one of those things where, you know, he had absolutely no boost to tank, yes, but you know, no resistance. You just gotta try something. And you know, that's a goal you definitely don't want to be conceding. I was thinking someone's gonna be on that, but nobody was there. And so now for Cactus Squad, I think we saw the timing time again. Again, they're down in this game. One goal again. They have to pull something out of the bag once more, but the thing is, time is not on their side. It is a minute still, so you know, within the realms of possibility, they really can't be letting those slip by, as they're the ones on the attack, being attacked right now. Sorry, as now there's an infield pass, but a demo on the last man. The net is wide open, but Mixie and Six getting confused in the chaos of that, as now it will be Cactus to get it out. Here comes Dash for the shot. It is blocked and it's off the net once again.
This is a juicy game, isn't it? 3-2 is the scoreline. Cactus Squad, they are basically trembling at this point. They are doing everything that they possibly can to get that goal. Tenny sends it downfield and he goes to the front, but he's not able to connect. How close was that? 30 seconds remaining, and what a game we are in for. Shaggy with the demo. 20 seconds to go. Oh, this is great.
Yes, this is a great end to the game after what has been a pretty messy series. In the end, we're getting a fantastic final game, as now it is Cactus Squad, the final attack. Can't he make anything of it? Doesn't seem to be that way as it's pinched down the way. Six just has to keep it on the ground. He leaves the ball, he knows it's over. And RiZe eSports gets the win here. 3-0 sweep. And that is a statement to make to end your season. Clean sweep over your opponent. You know, absolutely secure your first place position. So well done to RiZe. And of course, for Cactus Squads, I feel like there could have been more from them out of that series. They had those internet problems, but in the end, they had those close games as well. 2 1-goal games in that series. I must say, Cactus Squad stepped up to the challenge, but it's just not enough to best RiZe.
Yeah, it was. Do you know what? If them internet issues had not have been there in the beginning, then we'd have had an amazing series. Unfortunately, it was not to be, but we still got classic entertainment at the end of that. We reset that server multiple times to try and get rid of it. It didn't get rid of it, but finally we ended up with one very juicy game at the end of that. Commiserations at the end of the day, but RiZe, they showed their class. They thoroughly deserved that victory.
Yeah, absolutely. So very well done, RiZe. And in terms of standings, that puts them, solidified into first. 8-1 record, a plus 19 game difference overall. Really, the stars of the show and Division 2.1. And so they'll go up again. They'll be starting in the winners bracket actually of the playoffs, which will be in a couple of weeks' time. So put themselves in a nice position for that. Whereas Cactus Squad, they'll simply be secured for a spot next season. They weren't able to make playoffs either way. But still was a good series nonetheless. But that wraps up our evening, Mikey. Here we got to cast 2 very nice games. Both ended in sweeps, but nonetheless was enjoyable to say the least. I mean, I got to take the mick out of Nitrox a bit, which always makes my day.
Oh, I
But
can't believe
yeah,
you
it
called
was.
that a good game.
Yeah, it was. I don't like to bring it up again, actually, but I just had to here. But that does it, really. So yeah, thank you, Mikey, again for joining me on the cast. It's a pleasure to have you. And of course, we've got to thank Cherry as well for pushing all the buttons in the background, doing a fantastic job as a streamer. And that'll wrap up tonight's action. So yeah, Mikey, any closing thoughts before we sign off?
Yeah, I think it's been a shambolic evening. If you think about the 2 series we've actually cast, I think we got one good game out of it. Yeah, it went really well in the end. But on a serious, it's always a pleasure to cast with you, sir. It has been a hot minute,
Yeah.
and genuinely enjoyed it. I think at the end of the day, the teams that took victories tonight thoroughly deserved the victories tonight. I think it's been a great day of action that has been shambolic as well. But at the end of the day, RiZe eSports take the victory, a thoroughly deserved victory. It's been a pleasure to cast. Thank you, Mr. Sherry, for pressing them buttons as well. It's been a great night of action. To be fair, it's been entertaining to do random things, and I still feel like we're going to need a Q&A at some point now. But that is it from us tonight, and I think we did great. So GG to us.
Yeah, absolutely. GG's to us and to everyone for watching. It's been a pleasure once again to cast for you all. And of course, well done to the teams played today. I'm not sure when we're going to be live next, but hopefully we'll have another stream later in the week. In fact, we may have one on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So, as we talk to production, but we may have a stream on Friday evening. So keep an eye out for that. But that does it, everybody, for tonight. We'll finally sign off. Thank you all once again for watching, and we will see you all again on Friday, probably, for another ECC stream. Have a good evening, everyone.